And I don't ever want to hear the bullshit. I don't want to hear any bullshit of some boomer saying like, oh, Gen Z, they don't want to work. They don't want to get a job. Says the person who doesn't know how to submit a PDF file, who wouldn't even know how to compress the file to fit under the 5 megabyte restriction. Oh boy. Let's rant about it. Let's rant about the good old job rejection email. Everyone loves them. Everyone loves reading those nice, beautiful words. Unfortunately, you know, they all have the same wording pattern where it's just like, thank you for having interest in our company, but we regret to inform you that we have moved on with other candidates that are more suitable for the role, or unfortunately, we will not be moving on with your candidacy at the moment. But we hope you have success in your future career goals or wherever job you're going to find it. Please check our website to see if you have any other interest in our openings. As if I have multiple degrees and I can apply for I don't know. Let me jump from one job to the other. Yeah, I have multiple degrees, so yeah, probably not doing that, my guy. But that's how it is, and I honestly I'm to the point of like, let's just cut the shit. Let's just cut the shit. You know, stop giving me the corporate HR talk at this point. Stop, all this nice kind, like, oh, we hope everything works out for you. It's all canned. It's all been AI generated or just written over with like a really big legal book to make sure they don't, pass something where they can get sued down the road. I honestly want at this point, I actually honestly want at this point for jobs to just be a little bit more like crass and in your face and like give me some like Gen Z brain rot and say to me like, you thought you were gonna get the job? L plus ratio, rip bozo. You thought you were gonna get this job? I'll give you a job. Here's some fries. Make sure you put the fries in the bag. And you see that Sprite over there? Yeah, why don't you get that for me? Why don't you get that Sprite over for me? Thank you very much. That's your job right now. And boy, oh boy, I'm getting hot in here and the sun is beaming down on me. It's only a matter of time before I'm going to have to move this camera. But yeah, got another one in the mail, and geez, it each one just chips away at your soul. They don't tell you that after the job, after like, the whole social contract, but I'm going to make a video on that. They don't tell you that in the social contract, that you have to go through hundreds, maybe thousands of job rejection emails before you finally get one. Each one of them just chips at your soul, even when you know that you can do the job, but sucks to suck, And people tell you like, okay, well, you should keep your expectations tailored. Keep your expectations tailored, man. Don't hope so much. Don't hope that you're going to get the job. Keep them That's not human. That's not human. It's not human for us to just not have hope for something. I've tried it. I've tried the sit there and like, I've tried the positive mindset. I've tried the neutral mindset. I've tried the negative mindset. I've tried all the mindsets, but it doesn't matter. The pain is still the same. You're still going to get the same old, unfortunately, and it's still going to suck to hear it. It doesn't change. I'm not even sure if this is worse than the dating market or not. Luckily, I'm out of that race, but the working one, the getting a job one, it's difficult. It's extremely difficult, and it chips away at that hope every time you get an email like that. It just chips away all the time. And I don't ever want to hear the bullshit. I don't want to hear any bullshit of some boomer saying like, oh, Gen Z, they don't want to work. They don't want to get a job. Says the person who doesn't know how to submit a PDF file, who wouldn't even know how to compress the file to fit under the 5 megabyte restriction. Boomers know nothing about how to use a freaking computer, and then they come around telling us like, oh, well, you guys just don't want to work. You guys don't want to do anything. It's like, oh my God, fuck off. Seriously. I don't ever want to hear that nonsense saying that we don't want a job. Well, we sure as hell do want jobs. It's just that the jobs don't want us. And I guess maybe that leads me more into the silver lining of this video, because I got to get out of the sun before I become a crisp. Obviously, black in the sun does not do so well. I'm going to be fried alive. But there is a silver lining. There is obviously, as it sounds cliche, rejection is redirection, I believe. And, at least I'm thankful for people who are here to, listen to me talk about that, because, this is one of the pathways I'm on. If I never went through these job rejections and job layoffs, it's just like I wouldn't be here talking to you guys in the first place. But it's almost therapeutic to just let it out, just speak into the void. If anyone does watch, who knows? Maybe they'll watch, maybe they won't. Who knows? But it feels enjoyable to let this out. Another part of positivity, or at least I would say it, maybe it's not exactly positive, but like, hold on to your job if you have one, and if you don't have one, try, other than just applying, make sure you're building something of your own. Now, I don't know what that is. We spent 12 years in school, then another 4 or 6 years in college, just not to know how to start up our own like business or whatever. And I'm not saying everyone is a business owner. I'm not saying everyone can do it, but there's got to be some way that you can make some income without it being required by a job, because they're the gatekeepers. They're the gatekeepers from you having a stable pay. They're the gatekeepers of you, having health insurance, the gatekeepers of you staying in wherever the hell you live. They're the gatekeepers. They hold the keys. But now you have to find your own way to develop those keys for yourself. And I know it's not going to be easy. I know that's probably not some of the information you guys want to hear or people want to hear, but it seems like that's the only pathway forward. But at least there's an answer. There's somewhat of an answer, and maybe it's a dream to shoot for or something like that. But the rejection notices, I know I have to go through them. I have to keep going through them and stuff like that. But it eats at your soul. It chips away at you every time, knowing that you can do the job, knowing that you are capable of doing the job. And even you studied, I even studied for something that it's actually valuable, that actually is needed out in the world. But, competition's tough. Competition's tight, It is what it is. But yeah, if there's a positive note on this, build something of your own. Build something that you owned the way of income and how it's done, right? Don't always rely on that job to give it to you, because it's quite clear that the jobs aren't going to do that they compared going off of that on my layoffs video and stuff like that. But like, yeah, the job rejections and everything like that, fine. You have to build your path these days. That's a new thing. We have to figure it out. So here I am, just trying to figure it out, and I believe I will. But God, it sucks to get these. It just sucks to keep getting the same. Unfortunately, we've moved on with someone else, and it's just like, oh, I hate to hear it every day. So, yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know your worst corporate HR email you've got for a rejection. I want to hear like the most nonsense that's ever been spewed. So, but yeah. That's my thoughts on this, guys. And really, keep your head up high. Find different ways forward. If it's not, find different ways forward. I honestly believe giving up is pathetic, but I don't want to, and that's like maybe me being delusional. That's maybe me being freaking delusional with giving up, or like saying that it is pathetic. I just can't do it. I can't think of a process like, okay, I've got this one life. I can't just like throw it out like that. So yeah, tell me what your guys' thoughts on this, and tell me what kind of like the most annoying emails you've gotten in the mail. I mean, or in your email that just said like, oh, the unfortunately. Tell me what you guys have gotten. That's all I've got to say on this topic. I gotta get the hell out of the sun. Cheers.